Billy got it bumping.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. Ted DiBiase, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place or get smacked down, play it safe. What you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Boot to the Face here on YouTube and all your favorite podcasting platforms. I'm Chris Rucker along with my host EJ Reed, and we are here to talk about the world of professional wrestling. EJ, how you doing?
Man, I can't complain. Thursday, which is my Friday. Well, it's a holiday today anyway, so yesterday was basically my Friday. So today, tomorrow off, I'm chilling. How you doing, man?
What holiday?
Truman's Day. It's a state holiday, like Truman Day, I want to say.
Man, you get more holidays off work than my kids get from school.
Nah, I get like one extra, one in the month of May, and then they got like another state holiday in November. Just two. This year's flying by. It just makes it seem like I get so many.
You get like President's Day.
Oh, yeah, I get all the federal holidays off.
Yeah. Well, I ain't got shit off, so. But yeah, how's your week been?
It's been solid, man. 3 days of work. Recorded Haymaker early this week. Recording again tonight. Nothing out of the ordinary. How about yours?
Pretty good. Got all moved, and now I'm here recording a couple days late, but hey, it is what it is. Make it do. Ready to talk some pro wrestling. We got Backlash coming up this weekend. In AEW spring break next week.
It is.
Yeah. You got that. You got all the happenings that have happened this past week. WWE releases. So we got a good bit to talk about.
Indeed, we do. You do anything interesting last weekend? Because we've been off. We were on this Tuesday, so it's been a while since we recorded.
No, I had, like I said, I was moving this weekend, and then my buddy got married Tuesday night, which is why we didn't record. And then just been kind of trying to set the new place up, get everything taken care of at the old place. We finished that yesterday, and watching a little bit of wrestling here and there. I wish we were still powered by FullPressCoverage.com. I'd talk about my New York Knicks, but
I thought we were powered
by the time this comes
up.
Huh?
I thought we were powered by Full Press.
Yeah, ain't been powered by Full Press in a long time. You been to that website lately?
Oh man, well, shit. I guess I should start taking the logo off for the video. I guess, right?
Hey, I never even noticed the logo was still up there.
Yeah, like when I do the thumbnail for the shows, it's always the Full Press logo on there.
Let me go see if it's been fixed. Full Press Coverage.com. Nope. What about Full Press Wrestling? No, it's gone. It's just like in sync. Out of there.
Wow. Well,
yep.
No longer powered by Full Press. So 2 things. Wedding on a Tuesday, that's interesting. That means like the guests really couldn't get hammered like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a reason for it, personal reasons with them that I'm not going to get into, but it's at a church with like, a bunch of religious people too, so there was no alcohol there, which is fine with me because I'm not drinking right now. So, and like you said, it was a Tuesday, so I mean, they had the wedding that started at 7. By like 9:15, we were all looking at each other like, all right, who's gonna be the first one get the hell up out of here so we can get some sleep, get to work in the morning. But I mean, we got home 9:30, 10 o'clock maybe. It wasn't too far from where I live.
Oh, word. That's what's up. Was it like a big wedding?
About 100, maybe 50 to 100 people there. It was nice.
That's a nice size, man.
Yeah. And it was thrown together like at the last minute, like I said. So it was a good turnout for it. One of my longest friends, and then one of my other longest friends was there with his wife also. So we sat down, had a good time, and came on home.
That's what's up. And then second thing, like what the hell is going on with the NBA? Like your Knicks have been winning on the roads somehow, and people have been collapsing
I
left
know.
and right. People have been collapsing left and right. Like the Pacers was like that's unexcusable. What happened with the Cavs? I didn't get a chance to watch the Knicks, but I saw that they had a hell of a comeback. I saw the highlights, 1 and 2.
The I didn't watch the Cavs, but they're down 0-2 just like Boston is with a home court advantage to the Pacers. I didn't watch that game, but I have watched both Knicks and Celtics games, and both times I'm like, man, the Celtics are so much better. And next thing you know, they're just up by 20, and it's like, yeah. And then right when you get ready to turn again, I did that thing we were talking about when I asked you if you were superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
I would turn it off and do other stuff, and when I come back to it, the Knicks would cut the lead in half. I'm like, oh shit, let me hurry up and turn it back off. And when I cut back to it, it'd be tied up. I'd be like, all right, I'm watching the rest. I can't not watch the rest. So they were down 57-47 when I got back last night. I jumped in the shower. And then they were down 20. Like that. I'm like, what the hell just happened? So I turned it off, started doing other stuff. When I turned it back on, they was down 4. I said, oh. Sat down and man, it's like Boston just they only know how to shoot 3-pointers. When they're not going in, it's not working.
Hey, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. That was like a trope for the longest until like the Warriors broke the curse. Like it was saying that like no 3-pointing team will ever win the championship, just because like you said, like when you get cold. But Steph Curry is just generational, so he was able to break the cycle. But for the most part, that is true. Like when it comes to the playoffs, you gotta have an inside game just in case something goes wrong with your 3-pointer. Can't totally rely on that.
Yeah, it's like in the NFL when all of a sudden running the ball matters in the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
You shoot threes all regular season. When you get to the playoffs, you gotta have some kind of inside pressure. And I think that's how New York was, because New York wasn't making a lot of threes in either one of these games. They're just taking the ball to the basket. I make 2, you miss. I make 2 again. That's 4 off the lead. They're quick. And Boston just firing them things up.
Yeah, but when you got a clutch player like Jalen, I'm gonna say Jalen Monroe for some reason. Jalen Brunson. Yeah, you need that in the clutch, man. And then Carl Towns have been proving me wrong so far. I always thought he was soft when it came to like the playoffs. I know he put some numbers in the regular season, but he's trying to shake that narrative. So it's still a lot to go. I still think this series goes to 6, but New York needs to take one of these home games for sure.
They need to win the next game.
The next game?
If they lose the next game and it's 2-1, then all the pressure's back on them to get at least one game at home, or you're right back where you started at. They need to win game 3. Game 3 is the biggest game of the season. The season.
You say that until the next game. No, I just say if they just got to get a win out of these 2 home games.
Yeah, I agree. I'd rather it be game 3 though, because like I said, if say they get blown out game 3, now it's 2-1. Now you come into game 4, you like, man, we gotta win this shit, or else all this shit we did in Boston don't matter. And Boston's just out there chucking up threes left and right. So if you lose that, like I said, it's 2-2. And it's right back to where you started. Those 2 games you won on the road don't even mean anything. Boston's got the advantage again.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting if New York and Indiana could pull through and win the series, just to see somebody new in there, because everybody expected Boston to get back, even with the Cavs being the #1 seed, and It's interesting to see them down, 0-2.
We owe Indiana too because they beat us in Game 7 last year.
Oh, that was last year.
Mm-hmm. Beat the
Whenever I think Knicks, Indiana, I always think of like Patrick Ewing and Reggie Miller for some reason. Those battles.
Yeah, that motherfucker scored 8 points in like 3 seconds.
That was insane. That's basically what the Cavs let
I
them.
almost cried.
You were probably like at least 14. You shouldn't have been crying that old.
That ain't the point. It don't matter how old I was. This shit broke my heart.
Yeah, that reminds me of that. That Reggie Miller and T-Mac did the same thing like 10 years later. Both of those were crazy.
And I couldn't stand Reggie Miller. So, fuck the Pacers. And like I said, we owe them from last year.
And the Pacers just like a weird franchise. I never really had like a player that I really. Actually, I take that back. I like Paul George when he was on there, but other than that, like you said, Reggie Miller wasn't really that likable. I was a Bulls fan. You were a Knicks fan, so yeah, whatever happens to them happens to them. Hopefully, they get taken care of.
Well, let's get into some pro wrestling, EJ. We got some WWE releases that took place this past week. A bunch of NXT people mainly, and then Braun Strowman and I was about to say Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler. Anybody else off the main roster that got cut?
I got a list in front of me. You already said Braun Strowman. You said Shayna Baszler. Did you say your girl Dakota Kai?
No, I didn't.
We got Kaden Carter, Katana Chance, Cora Jade, your girl Gigi Dolan, all of Galaxy. What you know the
Gallus?
Gallus, yeah. I don't know why I want to call him Galaxy. Gallus.
That's them dudes that were supposed to be joining the Wyatt family.
Yeah, Wolfgang, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, Eddie Thorpe, Dakota's man, Riley Osborne, Jakara Jackson, which I was surprised to see, Ora Mensa, Javier Bernal, whoever that is, Danny Palmer, and then Shotzi wasn't released, but her contract expired and they didn't renew it.
Danny Palmer. Why do I know that name?
They like hyped her up on NXT for a while, and then she just kind of disappeared. They gave her like these weird They weren't weird, but I think she was like the bubbly type personality and whatnot. But yeah, it was like,
oh damn, she's got a cool move.
What is it?
She's standing like she's going moonsault. Let me see this. And she jumps up and backwards, and instead of doing a moonsault, she does like a reverse 450. I have to send it to you.
That's dope.
It's wild. She put on there, can somebody use my finisher since I never got to use it?
See, that's a way to, laugh it off and, don't take it too seriously.
Apparently she eats Greek yogurt, blueberries, and peanut butter.
Doesn't sound like
mixed up together.
It sounds like a stomach ache for me, but hey, whatever works for her.
I made some really good air fryer chicken just now.
Oh yeah, was it
air wings?
Did you bread it or?
Nah. I just put a little avocado oil and my seasonings on there and throw them in the air fryer.
Yeah, air fried chicken. If you dip it in a little flour, it's like almost like exactly like if you were to pan fry it.
I ain't never pan fried chicken before.
You haven't? Growing up in a black household?
I mean, I've eaten it. Other people have done it. I've never pan fried it myself. Seems like a lot of work. Flour and fucking grease and all that shit. I ain't got time for that. Here, mix this shit up, throw it in the air fryer. Boom. Every 12 minutes, turn that shit till you think it's ready.
Pan frying isn't, as difficult as it sounds. But air fry is definitely game changer. I'll give you that.
But yeah, so of the releases, anybody you looking forward to seeing elsewhere? Like if you had to pick 2 people off that list that you just like, I can't wait till they fucking 30 days is up, who would it be?
Definitely my interest is piqued by Dakota Kai. I don't know where she lands. See, like, so you have like the people who are indie on the indie scene, and then you got like the developmental people. So it's kind of, I don't know like how I feel about where I want to see people land, because and then a lot of the people that were on the indie scene, they've been in the WWE vortex so long. I wonder if they could like revert back to how they were back in the day, like a GG or even Cora. Like people, for some reason, they try to group her in that like developmental, but she was on the indie scene before she got to NXT, and then like the Shayna Baszlers, the Dakotas, and then I'm curious to see where the developmental people like a Jakara go. And like the what's her name, Katana Chances, she was a developmental. So I don't know if you had to choose, where would you see? We won't do the whole list, but like some of the standouts landing, like a Shayna, Dakota, Kaden, and Katana.
Shayna, I think, is
Gigi.
done.
Oh, you think she's like 44? People.
Yeah. Dakota would probably go AEW.
You think so? Huh?
Yeah. Core Jade, if she's smart, she'll go to TNA. I mean, she basically had a tryout there, getting sent over there from WWE anyway. So I could see TNA snatching her up. And Gigi, she'll probably do like NWA and Indies. She's gonna make a lot of money on the indie scene, because you know that thirstiness in them wrestling fans, boy, they'll pay some money for her and then the meet and greets.
Of course.
Who else is big on there?
What about the tag team of like a Kaden and Katana?
I could see Caden Carter return, because she was on the indies too.
Yeah,
Her name was Lacey Lane,
Yeah.
and then they made her change it, and then they fucking turned what's her name into JC Jane. She was pissed off. I remember that. I could see her finishing, but the little American Ninja Warrior girl, I don't know if she's cut out for wrestling.
For some reason, I can see both of them going to TNA. They need tag teams over there, and we've been vouching for AEW to do like a women's tag team. This is the opportunity, if they want to pick up some people. But for some reason, I don't see a lot of these people fitting in AEW. Maybe a Shayna, you have something with her and who's the enforcer of
Marina,
yeah, Marina Shafir. And then
they're buddies though.
You can still turn that end around. Like, what if she were to join like the Ops? If Shayna were to join the Ops and then have them face up.
Why would she do that to her friend? She's a horrible friend.
Why did Lex Luger do that to Sting so many times?
What? Why you gotta bring that up though?
Because we know how
those were 90s.
We know how friends in wrestling get down. And why did she do that? Why did Shayna do that to Ronda on her way out? Friends do some fucked up shit.
She was jealous.
Exactly. But out of like all those names, like you said, the only one I can really see in AEW like that right now is Dakota, like you said. And I see either
maybe Shotzi. Shotzi could probably go to AEW.
Yeah, I feel like they've been watering her down lately, and she was able to release her indie self on there. I could see her doing something.
And you also got to remember, AEW isn't just AEW. It could be ROH they're going to.
That's true.
I could definitely see Shotzi and Gigi over in ROH.
That's true. One name that people were mad about is Braun Strowman. I mean, but
why?
A lot of people like him for some reason. They think he's like a throwback to like the big man of yesteryear. I mean, he's been injured.
They're full of shit, those people.
Probably. He's injured.
Braun Strowman is just not good. Just not good. He never was. He got popular because, like most people back then, that would feud with Roman Reigns. And Roman used to let him whoop his ass, like throw him around. Yeah, you can throw me through a fucking stage. And that's what got Braun Strowman popular. And then people just kind of kept cheering for him, even though he sucked.
Yeah, I mean,
get these hands.
He's not good on the mic. He's not good in the ring. But I'll give him, like, he served his purpose like you had some fun watching him like do some car crash shit with big men.
I think the only time I enjoy watching Braun Strowman is when he punched Lesnar on accident. Lesnar tried to knock him out, and when Bobby Lashley was whooping his ass.
Like
There's nothing that I enjoyed about Braun Strowman ever.
you ain't like a little bit of like the him and Bronson Reed going back and forth just destroying shit. I thought that was fun for what it was. It wasn't like my favorite thing of all time, but I'm like, oh, this is
It
cool.
was good because of Bronson Reed.
Like it's cool, but yeah. With that being said, I either see him retiring or I could see him doing something in Japan for some reason.
Nah, he seems to have money though, following him on social media. Um, he's had over 10 years in WWE. That's, on the very downside, like hopefully he had about 5 mil, right? Like 10 years in WWE and he had really good merch. I could see him like being a spokesman for like the NRA or some shit,
Yeah.
or being on the Outdoor Channel. I think he's done with wrestling too.
But the first time he got fired, he was doing like some indie stuff with EC3 to control your narrative. Maybe he goes to NWA if he feels like still wrestling. Like you said, he probably doesn't have to. Like you said, he probably was good with saving his money.
And he never control your narrative. They had the same amount of matches as fucking Global Force Wrestling.
that monstrosity that Jeff Jarrett concocted. That was awful. But
Where's Cody?
Cody Rhodes?
Yeah.
I mean, probably chilling with his little daughter Liberty. I don't know.
John Cena beat that boy into retirement.
He beat him into retirement. One shot with the title and he was done somehow.
Dunzo. Supposed to be the American Nightmare. Ain't seen this motherfucker since we left Vegas.
That main event.
Think about how long ago that was.
Yeah, I say that main event was a nightmare. Yeah, that was a while ago now. Shit, it's almost a third of the way done with May, man. Time be flying.
Yeah, I wish it would go faster. I got 60 days left.
You got a while, my guy.
This shit is kicking my ass. Like, it's one thing to wake up and go work out. It's another thing to wake up, go work out, then have to go to work all day. Then when you get off work, you got another workout to do, and you have to do it. There's no like. A couple times I slept in, which meant I had to do 2 back-to-back workouts when I got home from work. Shit's miserable. Tired.
Yeah, I'm not doing something as hardcore as what you're doing, but I did this 6-week challenge last year, and I just started it again this year, where you do 5 workouts a week. I'm not as hardcore as you doing it every day, but 5 is more than what I usually do. So
Yeah.
It's that time of year, man.
I am liking lifting weights again though. Like I've been lifting weights pretty regularly for about a year now.
Nice. Yeah, I see the videos of you in the gym getting it in. That's what's up.
My goal is 400 pounds on deadlifts this year.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I'm at 325 now.
One of my best friends, he was in the strength and conditioning club back in college. They had that, and he was like doing something crazy for like his body weight. He only weighed like 140, like maybe 140 back then, and I think he was doing like almost 3 times his body weight or something crazy.
Damn. Yeah, I remember in high school they had the weight to total weight ratio or whatever. And I was in weight training with like all the football players and wrestlers and shit. And I was at the top because I was strong as hell, but I was only 185 pounds in. So like I could bench and squat a lot of weight and power clean too. Those are the 3 lifts. But I could power clean really well too. So
yeah, I started lifting weights back at 2007. I've been pretty consistent since then. But ever since I messed my shoulder up, like 3 years ago, it hadn't been the same. Even though I still lifting, I don't do as heavy as I used to, but I still do what I can.
Um, one thing with this week, us not recording, is we get to talk about this past week's NXT and AEW with us recording on the Thursday. So NXT has a new number one contender. They had a 25-man over the top rope battle royal. And I thought I was watching 2008 Randy Orton.
Really? So you
No, but he kind of favors him.
That's what they say about Kyle Fletcher though too. Like, make up your mind. Who is baby Randy Orton?
Yeah, they tried to say this guy was a fake Kyle Fletcher. I'm like, but Kyle Fletcher's a fake Randy Orton. How you gonna be a fake Kyle Fletcher?
Yeah, when I was watching the battle royal, I'm like, is this the Jobber Royale? They had like a bunch of people that I was not familiar with, and I'm not like willfully ignorant, but I just weren't aware of like a lot of those people in there. And
You don't want to walk with Elijah?
Yeah, like I don't know about your feed, but they were saying like the crowd was saying "Walk with Elias," and they were bleeping that out. Like, is it that deep where they had to bleep out Elias chants?
Why though?
I have no clue, but on my feed they were bleeping out Elias chants.
Yeah,
Like
that's weird.
Y'all are partnership in there. I know WWE owns the rights to the name, but y'all are in partnership. Like, why is it that big of a deal?
Exactly. It's not like he's coming in from. And on top of that, they put the TNA titles and shit like that online all the time. So why you gotta take this man's name out? I don't know. That's weird shit. Maybe they thought they were chanting something else.
Maybe.
Because WWE fans been a little potty mouth lately.
Yeah. What's an example of that?
Shut the fuck up was a chant.
They did that?
Yeah.
I know they did it on AEW all the time.
I think they did it to Heyman.
Oh, really?
And they chanted something else that they ended up having to bleep. Holy shit. They were chanting holy shit during Rollins and Jey Uso.
Oh, they always bleep that out.
But they didn't bleep it out this time because it's on Netflix.
Oh, they didn't bleep it out. Good. They shouldn't bleep anything out on Netflix. It's Netflix.
Yeah. I don't think they should bleep anything out anyway. Like, I can control what these people are saying.
Well, it's weird. Like the cable channel rules, because they're not like network where it's monitored by the FCC, but they still bleep out stuff sometimes. But if you watching it past a certain time, they can say the F word, the N word. Like,
yeah. They bleeping out the crowd noise on Monday Night Raw. And then 30 minutes later, you can watch Suits and they say pussy and dick and fuck and all that shit.
Yeah. It's a weird world we live in. Maybe it's a WWE thing personally because they're a PG company. I don't know.
Ain't no fucking PG company. Rock says fuck every time he's on TV.
You know The Rock plays by his own rules. Come on
now. But yeah, the new number one. What's the guy's name? I can't think of his name.
Bourne.
Saved my life.
Miles Bourne.
Yeah, I don't know. They just move away from Trick real quick when he loses the belt. It's like both times he's had the title, he lost it real quick, and then he never gets an actual fucking rematch.
He had a title. Oh, you mean like 1-on-1? I'm gonna say he had a
yeah.
He had a rematch at Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, it was a triple threat though.
Yeah, I mean, how do I say this without coming off as insensitive?
A hater.
I guess so. You hate all you want. So I applaud that they are giving a chance to a community that's, underrepresented. Like, people with disabilities should be in the spotlight. But you don't want to seem like you're pandering. Like, they hadn't heated this kid up at all. He's like the fourth guy on a mid-card group. Like, the leader of that group is Regal's kid, and they just hot-shotted him to the title. I think they might be pandering to the special needs crowd, maybe.
Is he special needs?
Yeah, he's deaf.
Ah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and if you didn't know that, you would be like, "What? Why the hell did this guy get a title shot at all?"
That's pretty much what I was thinking.
So that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking it might be some underlying, motive for them doing it. I'm hoping not, but like I
I
said,
don't want to wrestle with a deaf guy. He can't hear the rules. If the referee's telling him to stop choking me, he can't hear the 5 count.
I mean, he's got a hearing aid. But,
Yeah, well, I'm planning on hitting him and knocking him off.
oh shit, that's cold blooded. In the words of Rick James.
Actually, you could probably, if you were fighting a deaf person that was wearing a hearing aid, you could probably hit him in the ear and knock the hearing aid out, and it would fuck their equilibrium up for a minute. Then, bam, you hit them with the rock bottom, 1, 2, 3. By the time they gather themselves up, you help them with the hearing aid, apologize, tell them it was just business.
Yeah. So like I said, I'm glad he's getting a shout out. Like shout out to him for overcoming all of the obstacles he had to go through. But it seems a little hot shotty because it came out of nowhere, and we know Oba's going to fucking destroy him. It's supposed to be. I don't know if it's the main event. I'm sure it's probably going to be Jordan and Stephanie is the main event.
It'll be the women.
But still, like they're in the where is Battleground happening? Tampa. That's a pretty nice sized building. I think they're playing where they're having that show where USF, the men's basketball team, is at. So you gotta put butts in seats. And Oba sell tickets. Stephanie will. People come out to see Jordan, but are people gonna come out to see Miles Bourne just get his ass kicked? I don't know. I guess time will tell.
That's why it won't be the main event.
True. It shouldn't be. There's no way you could sell me on that being the main event. Unless you cover.
Then you have Sol Ruka fight Jada Parker.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'm just making the card up.
I think it'd be a little early to take the title off Sol, but that's where I think they kind of like have Jada skip the line a little bit. She should have been mixing it up in North American before they had her like going for the main title. That's what the title's there for, right?
Yeah, but they needed to beat a credible person, and she's credible. She's one of those people that she's never been the champion, but beating her is important. So that match with her and Roxy was really good.
With who?
Jada Parker for the title.
I don't remember that.
She's had a couple really good. She had that street fight with Michin.
Yeah, I remember that. I do remember that. I thought last week we didn't cover because we were recording at the time. The tag team match with was it Stephen? No. EO. Who's EO tagged up with? She faced.
She's staying up with Stephanie.
It was EO and Stephanie versus Roxy and who's Roxy's teammate?
Old girl that got cut. Is it not Cora J? Julia.
Okay, so I thought that was a really fucking good match. Like that shit slapped. Like EO and Roxy's chemistry was off the charts, and then I thought that would carry over to the Raw match. I didn't enjoy the Raw match as much as I did the tag team match on NXT for some reason. That tag match on NXT slapped.
Other number one contender for the women, Jordan Grace. If you just read Instagram or Twitter, you'd think Jordan Grace tried to kill Julia this week.
Really?
On purpose. Yeah, there's all kind of tweets about I think she tried to do like a tilt-a-whirl suplex and almost dropped her on her head. And then she tried something else and Julia almost broke her neck. And everybody's like, I can't believe WWE's letting this powerhouse get a hold of their top prize new project. And I'm like, Jordan Grace is the new project. What are y'all talking about?
What do we say about the internet? The internet is the loud minority. Like, shit don't translate to real life. Like, shut the fuck up and go back to the basement and eat mom's lasagna.
But if you hear about this podcast on the internet, please like, follow, and subscribe.
Yeah, all of that.
We didn't mean you. We meant the other people on the internet that aren't fat neckbeards.
But yeah, I wasn't mad at the result. I don't think Jordan is going to win. I just think Stephanie has put a margin, like a lead in between her and like the other women at this point. Like like we said before, like I was more of a Julia person. You were on the Stephanie bandwagon, and fans just gravitated towards Stephanie, and you just got to ride that.
I couldn't have said it better myself, EJ. um, yeah, I think Stephanie wins that match with her and Jordan Grace. I don't think it's time yet, but I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, look how quick they took the belt off Julia.
I heard there's some injury concerns going on with that, but who knows?
Yeah, but she came back like 3 weeks later.
I mean, maybe they thought it was going to be worse than it was.
So. I'd be mad as hell. Then why y'all take the belt off me? You let Liv Morgan go to fucking Japan and film a movie. They didn't take the belt off her. Her partner don't even got to show up for work.
Well, that's a whole another story because they took the belt off Jade real quick, but Liv and Raquel get to keep theirs. It's interesting.
I mean, technically, Liv asked for time off and Jade got thrown through a windshield, EJ.
Keep kayfabe alive, right?
Caution.
But yeah, this title scene in NXT is shaking out. I guess put on the show in the next couple weeks. They got a quick turnaround. Like they'll be with this Battleground in 2 weeks. They also have that. I'm mixing it up. Worlds Collide was with Money in the Bank. That's June. But they got Saturday night's main event is going to be like that same weekend in like 2 weeks or so.
Damn.
So, I mean, I feel like Saturday night's main event, they could have made it mean a little bit more, bringing it back, but it's basically like a glorified house show. Like we don't see title changes on that show, so.
Yeah, I definitely thought Jay was gonna beat Gunther last time on Saturday night's main event. And then after it's over, everybody's like, "It's just a house show. Why would you think?" Well, yeah, you can say that now, but when it's happening, you're like, "Oh shit, they better change titles on Saturday night's main event." But I mean, WWE's kind of notorious for that. Like, they had all those big events overseas that never had any title changes.
Yeah. Then they do like a surprise one time. They had I want to call her Kaylee Ray,
Kylie Ray,
Alba Fire, and
oh yeah, there's some women's tag titles though. They don't even count those. That's like 24/7 title to them. I meant like men's or women's championship or even U.S. and Intercontinental titles. Hell, they didn't even get defended over there most times.
Yeah, they randomly do the mid-card titles on like a random Raw and SmackDown more so they do these PLEs, the non-Big 5 PLEs. It's interesting, like they're like how they view that and their approach to that.
Yeah. We got 2 new number 1 contenders in NXT, and we're about to crown number 1 contenders in AEW for the men's and women's world championships for All In, as Mercedes Moné will face Jamie Hayter, and Hangman Adam Page will face Will Ospreay, with the winners going on to face the world heavyweight champions. Let's get to the women first, because I have a opinion about the AEW men's title situation.
I mean, I like how they're stretching this out until Double or Nothing, how they have them brawling and scrapping. That adds to the animosity. I mean, I know you're not a fan of this new Jamie Hayter, that 70s hater, but she's getting she's getting TV time, and Sasha just jumped her ass in the middle of her damn interview. That was rude.
Yeah, then ran away when she's about to get her ass whooped, and then came back. Like, dastardly. Baby faces are so stupid.
Yeah, they are. She ended up, like you said, Jamie ended up with her ass kicked at the end of that. But yeah, I mean, I feel like this one, I kind of see what's gonna happen unless they surprise me. I think it's gonna be Mercedes winning. They gotta sell tickets to the stadium show. Mercedes versus Tony. What bigger match do they have right now than that?
Yeah, especially in the women's division. Um, I don't see Jamie Hayter winning. My, my thought is already more towards who the hell they're gonna have win between Tony and Mercedes. Like
See, that's
Tony's already taken losses before. Mercedes is undefeated, but like, whoo, I
that's
don't want that decision.
yeah. Now we're talking when we talk about that match, but to get to that, we still got to see Mercedes beat Jamie. Like I said, I think it's already pretty much set in stone, but who knows? Anything can happen. But you said you had a thought on the men's title scene,
Yes,
and
and I want to commend that crackhead Tony Khan. No, I'm kidding. I want to commend Tony Khan and AEW because they have slowly but surely pieced multiple stories together of wrestlers. You got the Osprey story, you know. He was supposed to win at the first All In. He didn't even have a title match. And last year everybody wanted him to win it. Now they're not even in England for him to win his first world title. But he wants to be world champion finally, right? You got all his fans that want it. You got Hangman Adam Page. This guy's got the most intricate fucking origin story of any wrestler in AEW. He's good, he's bad, he's crazy, he's sad. Like, this fucking guy's all over the place. Now he's focused again, wants the title. So, as a fan of AEW, who do you want to beat John Mox? There's another guy. John Moxley got a story. You might not like it, but he's got one. And everybody wants the title off of him because of his story. Then you got a guy floating around named Swerve, where fan favorite, everybody wants him to win the belt. This coming week, next week, fighting Samoa Joe. Always a fan favorite. Now Joe's not gonna win. Swerve's not in the title picture, but you got his story out there. So then you're left with two people. You got the story of Will Ospreay coming from New Japan, finally about to get a chance at the World Championship again, and Adam Page. Whose story's more important? Who's going on?
well, that was the question I was about to ask you. But before we get into that, and then you forgot about the story of MJF too.
Oh yeah. I was gonna bring that up in a minute when we talked about the Hurt Syndicate. But yeah, MJF is trying to, help hurt people so he could get back to the world title. So
And
that's for after All In because he's got no way to get to All In right now as in a championship match. But yeah, you'll have that looming. So whoever comes away from All In will already have a title contender out there.
so, I mean, you kind of already hit on all the thoughts that I had in my head and what I was going to ask you. Because I was going to say, we'll actually, when we get to the Double or Nothing, we'll actually make our picks. But going into it, like, this is probably like the most 50-50 match that I could think of in AEW in a while. Because literally either one of these guys can win this match, which is a good thing. And I was going to say, like, what's your case for either one of these guys winning? I'm gonna say, like, if you represent each of these guys, what would you make your case for Ospreay winning it, and how would you make your case for Hangman winning it?
I think Osprey wins it because he needs to be recognized as the best wrestler in the company because that's what he is, and that's where the best wrestle, like he said the other night. But that's not a story. That's for the company.
Mm-hmm.
Hangman should win it just because. Like, how you don't like the Hangman? He's just up and down, like just a very um interesting character this guy has. Oh, by the way, he can wrestle like a motherfucker too. I like him better on the mic. I love Will Ospreay in the ring. But if one of them had to take the belt from, and there's the whole thing of Moxley and the Death Riders are trying to destroy AEW and keeping the belt tucked away. Who better than Hangman? He was one of the first people signed. He's the OG of AEW.
All I got, like I said, we'll make our predictions in a couple weeks. But if you're good at storytelling, you could string it out where Osprey finally has something to overcome and he gets it at Wembley next year. But like you said, Hangman's got the hot hand right now.
That's just, see, people aren't gonna like that because the first year they wanted Osprey to win the title and he didn't. They're like, oh, next year, and then he didn't even have a title match last year at Wembley, and they're like, oh, next year's got to be it. And they're not even going to Wembley; they're going to Texas. So it's like eventually fans are gonna get fed up with Osprey not winning. I don't think either one of them's winning. I think it's gonna be a triple threat at All In.
I don't like that. I think
I don't like it either.
I think we're gonna see a definitive winner, but like I said, we'll make our pick. But like you said, they're gonna be at Texas here. They're gonna be back at Wembley next year. He's such a good in-ring guy, and you got so many other storylines you could get into to carry you over the next year. He's still got the Callis family that's like 30 deep now, where you could have him. You could stretch it out, man. You could do it the right way.
You could, but every time Tony tries to stretch something out, somebody leaves or gets hurt or doesn't want to do something. Look at Cody. Cody had all those matches he could have had. He wanted to do other shit. He wanted to wrestle Anthony Ogogo. Shout out to Anthony Ogogo. He lives around my neighborhood too. But he wanted to wrestle people like that instead of wrestling the stars. Look at CM Punk. You got CM Punk wrestling against lesser than people most of the time, and he kept getting hurt, and then he left. Look at Miro and all these guys. Like, all these people he tried waiting to have the superstar match with, which is why I think a lot of shit gets hot shot in AEW. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. I have the match now, and y'all tell me I'm rushing. I line up a storyline for 6 months from now, and the motherfucker quits.
Yeah, but as of late, we haven't seen a whole lot of hot shotting recently. I get what you're saying though. In the grander scheme of things, they've been known to like do that, but like you said, they've been like taking their time more lately, and weaving storylines and having multiple people go for the title. Because at the end of the day, that's what people strive to be, is the champion. So that's what you should, gravitate your storylines around, people trying to get the championship. So that's good of them.
We brought him up earlier, MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. You talked about this on last week's episode, and since then we've had 2 Dynamites. And I didn't have a lot of thoughts about it because we were both like, where's this going? Where's this going? But the last 2 weeks have been really good. MJF being such a little like, it's like, is he really scared of Bobby Lashley, or is he acting like he's scared to try to get what he wants? But like, you better be scared because it's Bobby Lashley, like, and you about to piss him off. You know what I mean? Like, and then he's doing all this just to become world heavyweight champ. Like, where's he gonna go? Are they gonna let him in? Or are they not? Lashley told him, "You want to impress me? Hurt people." I was like, "Oh shit!" And as soon as Top Flight brought their motherfucking asses down that ramp last night, EJ, I knew it was about to be some smoke in the city.
I like it. Don't get me wrong. I just hate who they did it to. Like, that's supposed to be like your up and coming tag team. Like, do it to like Dark Order or some like ROH guys. Like, why did they do that to Top Flight?
In their defense, they did get hit from behind.
True, but that's just me nitpicking. But yeah, I like how they ain't making them, because it's usually on the other side. It's usually MJF making other people jump through hula hoops. So he's getting a taste of his own medicine, right?
Yeah. And it's about time. That's what I would do too. I'd be like, now you need to hurt 5 people. I get to pick them.
Yeah.
What?
The way they announced it, like they had his lawyer come in, or Bobby Lashley's lawyer come in and like whispering his ear and shit, and like, oh, we're going to make a decision next week. I don't think it goes down like people think it's going to go down. You think they're just going to be like, all right, you're a part of it now.
I don't know though, because if you let MJF in the Hurt Business, you know he's gonna turn, like Kevin Owens in the New Day. Like he's gonna turn eventually. If you don't put him in, then what the hell was the point of all this? So he could wrestle Shelton Benjamin and beat him, and then fight Bobby Lashley at a pay-per-view?
Yeah, I think they're building to MJF and Bobby at Double or Nothing.
Maybe All In.
You think Sheldon and MJF at Double or Nothing first?
I think it might be like a 8-man tag or something like that. He's got to be in a match with him to get in. He gets in, and by the time All In comes around, he turns on him. Or I was thinking about this. They tried making MJF a babyface. Technically, the Hurt Syndicate are heels. What if they let him in? They're running good, and then they just turn on MJF. Kind of like what Adam Cole was supposed to do with the Devil storyline and all that before he got hurt. So you Hurt Syndicate's the most popular thing ever. Blah blah blah. MJF is the man, and out of nowhere, don't even have MJF like doing sneaky shit. Like actually have him enjoying himself, and they just turn on him, and then they become heels, and they finally get MJF as a babyface. I'm gonna be mad at that.
I won't be mad at that either, but how we get another incarnation of MJF as a babyface, I feel like that was the most watered down version of himself when he was the champion and the Adam Cole.
Maybe he learned from his past mistakes not to do that stupid shit he was doing back then. But again, like, Adam Cole got injured and they probably couldn't do everything they were trying to do, so they were just throwing shit against the wall.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, it's like impossible to have MJF as a straight up heel, because even when he does dastardly shit, fans want to chant him. Fans are assholes, especially that crowd.
Yeah.
Super smarky crowd.
And they smell bad.
That too.
And every time I go to an AEW show, I have to share my chair with the guy next to me.
I mean, I think that's wrestling fans in general too, because like you said, WrestleMania motherfuckers were farting the whole time.
That was so gross. Like, I wish I could have found out who did it. I fucking poured nacho cheese on their head.
Just smelly people, but yeah, this is all we ask, is just to have multiple storylines, and right now,
Yeah,
it's working. So just stay on course and don't do nothing stupid.
they got multiple storylines in the women's division too. I mean, look at you got Anna Jay and
Megan Bain,
Harley, tits and ass.
I guess they could just say anything, because like she was like alluding to it, and then Anna Jay just said it. She was like tenacious and audacity and
Aggressive.
Like, yeah, she's like, I thought we were talking about tits and that. Like, she said it.
What's up with Anna Jay walking around talking about, I need you to grab my fat ass?
She's still a Jungle Boy.
I don't know. But if she ain't, he need to be suspended. How you fumble that?
He needs to be cut in general. I still never get over it. How you gonna choose Jungle Boy over CM Punk and this motherfucker?
I mean, it's not like CM Punk was main event of WrestleMania or something. Like, he's nobody.
Jungle Boy is nowhere to be found. Good
Jungle Boy's in a bingo hall in Tokyo somewhere.
That's super nasty work, but yeah, like you said, they got Anna Jay, Harley, Megan Bain. Like, even though
that storyline's good. Yeah. Penelope Ford. Like, when's the last time you cared about Penelope Ford?
Yeah,
you try to, but then they take her off TV after 2 weeks.
Well, she was injured. Some of it was on her own. She was injured for a lot of it too. But yeah, she has been like a Megan Bain's sidekick. I like their little, like, if you Joey Janela, you like, man, I got my ex and my main girl working together. Like, he needs to get Mac of the Year, right?
Joey Janela's like that fucking baby meme. He's just sitting there rubbing his hands together every time they tag up.
Rubbing his hand like Birdman. I don't know how this man got the juice somehow, but hey,
yeah,
I can't hate, just congratulate.
Got the juice, got no teeth.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have teeth.
Little Billy fella too. Saw him at WrestleCon.
Oh, he was
I was like,
smaller.
That's how big he is.
I don't know if I trust your depth perception. I remember you said Brian Cage was like 5'8", and I saw this man in person. This motherfucker was like 6 foot.
Brian Cage ain't no damn 6 foot.
I saw him, man. Like I was right there. The man was like 6 foot.
He had walking boots on because he's injured. Brian Cage is like 5'10" at the most.
I'm like 5'10", so he seemed like he was.
Yeah, he's probably your height. He looks tall.
Seemed a little bit taller than me, but
Brian Cage height. It says 6 foot on here, so maybe you're right.
Maybe you saw him from afar and he just looked smaller.
Afar, he fucking. Last time I was at AEW, the motherfucker took the steel guardrail that was behind me off to go hit somebody with it. He was right there.
Maybe
He's a little bitty fella.
Maybe you were a few Jack and Diet Cokes deep. You're like, this motherfucker don't look big. I'll swing on him right now. He won't do it.
Actually, I was not thinking that because I was sober. I can't remember why, but I do remember I wasn't drinking at the time. Probably because I had to drive back because it was like an hour away. So I remember I didn't have any drinks that night. But yeah, he came behind us and ripped the fucking thing off. Ripped the little guardrail that separates the wrestlers and the fans. He just fucking took it and went and hit somebody in the head with it.
That guy, he's missing out on the fun. His crew is wreaking havoc. He ain't not there to reap the benefits.
He's injured.
He barely wrestled. I don't know if fuck he get injured. But yeah, shout out to Brian Cage. Heal up soon.
But yeah, Joey Janela's a little bitty guy. We're gonna skip power rankings this week, EJ, because we gotta predict Backlash. But I do want to do Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week, and I want to shout out my World Heavyweight Champion main event Jey Uso. I thought they said he couldn't wrestle. Then everybody gets online and like, oh well, Seth did all the work. Shut the fuck up.
Jey Uso's never been a bad wrestler. It's just that he just had to find his footing as a singles wrestler, and a couple of his matches got a little one-dimensional, but sometimes you gotta work the kinks out.
I like what you said. He's never been a bad wrestler. He hasn't. Just now people pick the shit apart because he doesn't do 78 moves, but it's like nobody does 78 moves. Like, how many moves does Gunther actually do?
I don't know. He does end his matches with a different finishing move every time.
Right. He might do 9 moves a match, and 5 of them are at the very end. And the rest of the time, he's just chopping and throwing you around. Like, how many moves do wrestlers actually fucking do?
I mean, that may be about
to where people are like, yeah, and also like, look at the Miz. Miz never gets hurt. You know why? Because the Miz rarely leaves his feet unless he's falling backwards. Miz don't need to be doing Hurricane Ranas and all that. Jey Uso said he make the ground shake when he come out. He don't need to do all them moves.
Yeah, I mean, him and Seth went at it. The match ended like I thought it would. Like, there's no reason to have a clean win for a random title match that came out of nowhere on Raw. So I'm sure they're gonna meet somewhere down the line.
You agree with Paul Heyman?
What did he say?
He said everything I said. I think he was watching boot to the face. He said, why would CM Punk, as my best friend, put me in an awful position with my tribal chief? A best friend wouldn't do that.
That's true.
Then he said Roman didn't check on him, didn't call him after they put him through a table. And when he came back, he didn't come back for revenge for Paul Heyman. He came back for his Ulafala. So fuck him.
That's what I
You
said.
ain't see the fucking Paul Heyman crash out?
I saw it, but that's what I said too. Like, Roman Reigns left him for dead with the new bloodline. Yeah.
But people probably tuned it out just because I don't like CM Punk. But I said the whole time, like, CM Punk's being a dick to Paul Heyman, like making him choose and all that shit, everything in front of Roman Reigns, and he was sitting there smiling. Like, I was saying all that shit. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up.
Yeah. You reap what you sow, but Punk caused Rollins the title, so it's hell to pay, I guess.
Jay said, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, I would have asked him the same thing. This motherfucker was about to have
Like, dog, are you good?
an aneurysm in there. That motherfucker turned brick
Yeah.
red. But yeah, people have been complaining that they don't have a faction name. Like for some reason, that usually does bother me, but for some reason, it doesn't bother me in this situation because when does Paul Heyman really have a faction name outside of the Dangerous Alliance? He just represents people.
Bloodline.
Yeah, but that was like
Paul Heyman guys.
that's not an official group, the Paul Heyman guys.
Yeah, it was. When it was Curtis Axel and somebody else he had when Punk got hurt or whatever, and I think he had turned on Punk by then and Brock was gone.
So they were printing shirts.
He had like Curtis Axel and somebody else.
They were printing shirts that said Paul Heyman guys.
Yeah.
I gotta look that up. Paul Heyman guys, because they'd have that listed as a group.
Curtis Axel.
I don't see anywhere that says Paul Heyman guys was a faction. They were just
Heyman guys.
They were just represented by him, but I don't think they were like an official group. So, like I said, I'm not mad at them not having an official group name. What I am mad at is if I don't like this whole Shades of Grey thing. Like, obviously they're trying to position him as a heel little clique or whatnot. Change Seth Rollins' damn theme music.
Why?
It's a new era. Why not?
We didn't change John Cena's.
He said that's why. He said why he's not gonna change it. Y'all get nothing.
Yeah. Why Seth got to change his music?
Because there's no Shades of Grey. We're a heel group. We're here to kick ass. We don't want you singing along. And then it's Seth's chance to prove that he's more than just a theme song. Because I've always said the theme song is more over than Seth really is. And that's
Tell that to the Hurt Syndicate.
That's different though.
Tell it to Jey Uso.
Jay's more than his theme song. People don't chant his theme song. They just say yeet.
They sing the shit out of his theme song. They sing all the words to it.
Yeah, but it's like yeet. You don't like when he's wrestling. You don't hear him. You don't hear them sing his theme song when he's wrestling.
Do they sing anybody's theme song when they wrestle?
They do. They do Seth.
Yeah, because they can't chant "Let's Go Rollins" because don't nobody know how because he's never done it before.
Exactly. I'll give you the Hurt Syndicate so far, but that's like an outlier. Before that, like, your theme song is more over than you are. So
About the New Age Outlaws.
they didn't sing that song when they were wrestling.
They sang it the whole way out there, though. They were supposed to be heels, and they come out, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
That's not their theme song. That's just their catchphrase.
Okay. Oh, you didn't know?
That was Road Dogg ad-libbing. If you go listen to like their theme song, it doesn't have that in it. It's just it's just an instrumental. He's added that shit in.
Yeah, and he come out singing. It was sing along with Road Dogg.
It wasn't his theme song though. It was a catchphrase that he made up.
You just being argumentative. You know good and hell well that his theme song was a part of him singing it.
But it's, like I said, Seth's theme song is more over than he is. And I stand by.
I don't know. I think Seth is. I would agree with you about a year ago, but I think the last two WrestleMania, Seth is he's come a long way in the eyes of the fans.
Well, then exactly. If you stand on that, then give him a heel theme song.
Why?
So then you're not standing on that. You ain't standing on it. Then you're not standing on it. He's coming.
He don't need a new theme song.
If he's over with the fans and he's supposed to be like a heel, dastardly heel, then you don't need to rely on people chanting that.
That's not why his theme song does it. That's just his theme song. They didn't create that song. It was like people going, oh.
I think they did because they did the same thing for when they were creating Pat McAfee's theme songs because they want fans to chant it. They tried to like make their own version of Seven Nation Army with the white stripes because they couldn't hold the rights to that. It was too expensive to keep using that. But
All right, fuck it. Give Seth some new music. Give him the old Shield music.
That'd be hilarious if they did that.
Give him Roman's old music, the Shield music without the Sierra Hotel.
That'd be hilarious. Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that. The irony.
Don't forget, if you're listening, please like, subscribe, rate the whole nine. YouTube, go hit the sub button on there. If you watch this on YouTube, hit the like button, leave a comment while you're watching. We will go back to being live soon. I just don't know when because I'm waiting on a couple things. But yeah, give us follows, give us shares, retweet us if we post about the show. The whole nine. Now we come to my favorite segment of the show. The Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week.
My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week. We talked about it earlier. I give it to Jamie Hayter. That 70s Hayter with her groovy outfit, almost looking like Velma from Scooby Doo, or was it, what's the other girl's name from Scooby Doo? Daphne. This is Daphne or Velma? Yeah, Daphne from Scooby-Doo.
Daphne the redhead?
Yeah, she looked like Daphne from Scooby-Doo with the orange get up and the glasses.
Like a mix between Daphne and Donna from that 70s show.
Hey, some people might not like it, but I'll give her props. Her sit down with Renee Paquette.
My Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week apparently heard that she came in as a runner-up last week. She decided to have that shit on this week. Lyra Valkyrie. And turn around and kick Becky upside the head with a roundhouse.
I can't remember what she had on.
Well, I'm not going to describe it because that would make me sound like a pervert. But when you go and look for it to post on TikTok, you will see what she was wearing.
Hey.
I became a Bird Girl fan. I was like, woo!
Still got
Let's get these Backlash predictions out of the way, EJ, and get the hell up out of here.
Backlash. Going down a couple hours from me in St. Louis at the Enterprise.
You going?
Nah, I'm good. they ain't tricking me out of my money. Tickets
I saw some crazy fucking ticket prices for that.
I'm good. I was just at 2 nights of Mania. I'm good on that. I was shaking out. It looks like a glorified house show almost. So I'm cool. No, one match is not on there that I thought was gonna be on there. I thought it was gonna be Logan Paul and Jay on there, but apparently not.
I was gonna say they might still, but maybe that's the Saturday night's main event match.
Yeah, most likely. I can see them doing that. But so far, 5 matches. Like, they're sticking to the formula in this TKO Triple H era. So they're gonna roll with that.
Yeah, don't want to give you too much, but we want to take all your money.
Pretty much. On there they got every match is a title match except for Gunther, which we'll get into. But they got starting off. They got Dominic Mysterio, your Intercontinental Champion, versus Penta El Cerro Miedo.
I got Dom. He'll win by nefarious means, like his dad. I mean, like Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, I mean, I got Dom as well. A lot of people are high on Penta and Rey Fenix being separate, doing their own thing as a single stars, but I think eventually you gotta do a tag team run with them, right?
Yeah, I'd rather see them as a team. Like
maybe
them versus New Day, them versus Motor City Machine Guns. They could run that back. Ciampa and Gargano. Like, there's a lot of good tag team matches they could have.
Maybe we're in the minority because I like to see them get a tag team run as well. But if you listen to like the Whispers online and on different podcasts, they're like people are really high on them being separate as singles people. But we saw what they could do.
I don't care for it.
Yeah, me either. But we're the haters though. Next up, Jacob Fatu, your United States champion, putting his championship on the line against LA Knight. Yeah, Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. So it's pretty star-studded 4-way match.
Hill. You already know who's gonna win. He all gas and no brakes with it.
Yada I mean. Fatu.
Yeah. Jacob Fatu is winning that.
Fatu.
I think him and Solo are on the collision course.
I've said this before, and I'm just gonna keep, throwing gas on the fire. Like, if you're Solo Sikoa, how do you feel about your first cousin just coming in and surpassing you so quickly like that? Like, I feel like shit.
Could be worse. It could be a twin brother.
Yeah. Poor Jimmy. But I'll stand on that. I still feel like Jimmy is a better promo than Jay.
Big Jim.
Yep. But, yeah. Fatu retains. And like you said, they're on a collision course. When we see that match, who knows? Maybe. No, I think it's too soon for Saturday Night Main Event. I don't think you would do that at a Money in the Bank either. Maybe they stretch it out to SummerSlam.
Yeah. You said Money in the Bank. Mm-hmm. What if whoever ends up beating Cena cashes in on him? Like his last night there. So he done turn back babyface, beats Cody Rhodes in a face versus face match. Doing his little swan song. He's about to leave, or he's still a heel. Whatever. He's about to leave with the belt and ruin wrestling, like you said. And then all of a sudden, bam, cash in. They take the belt from him.
I think that would be doper than just having,
Cody beat him.
Cody getting the rub on his way out. I would enjoy that even more. But
yeah, especially if they had the right person do it.
Yeah,
like Logan Paul.
I mean, if Cena's still a heel, you're just getting heat on heat, I guess.
Yeah, but it would piss everybody off because right now Cena is a heel, but people still love him because it's John Cena. Like, you're not gonna make us boo John Cena his last go round. Like, we've been booing this nigga for 20 years. We about to cheer for him now.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings on Logan Paul as a world champion because at the end of the day, it's all about getting publicity and getting eyes on the product, and he definitely brings eyes on the product. But
yep,
that's still the world championship, though.
Yeah, well, you could just let Cody predictably beat him before he leaves. I think I'm not a Logan Paul fan by any means, but I think if you want to shock the world, you have him cash in on John, because who else is out there that hasn't been a world champion that they're trying to get over as like a heel?
I don't know.
Braun Breaker?
Yeah, Braun. I don't know. Do that to Jay's.
Oh, I can see Braun
cashing in.
Yeah, on Cena.
Yeah.
That'd actually be pretty dope.
That'd be a good way to kickstart, his run. You're always trying to work through growing pains your first title run, so that'd be a perfect way to kind of ease him into that.
Yeah, he could lose it right before WrestleMania.
That could work.
Have a little 1 month reign and then lose it to Roman or somebody. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, you couldn't do that. If he was retire Cena and take the belt from him, he'd have to keep the belt for a while. Whoever they're gonna have is I don't know. I think that'd be a damn good idea, heel or face. Or you could make him the biggest babyface. Cena's about to take the fucking belt. And he just beat Cody, he cheated, him and Travis Scott smoking an L in the corner. Jump up on the turnbuckle and all of a sudden, look at that place would go crazy.
I got a hot take. I don't know if Roman will get another title run.
Oh yeah, he'll get one.
I don't know.
He'll get a couple.
That's my hot take. I don't know if he, even behind the scenes, I don't even know if he wants the title like that.
He could be right.
He just might be a special attraction. He's at that. He's got the clout now where he doesn't even need a title. So that's my hot take.
Yeah, but the belt just makes the whole presentation look better.
Unless, this is a caveat, unless The Rock comes back somehow, that would make that match even bigger. A title is on the line. But I don't know. Y'all might have blew it. Y'all wanted Cody so much, we might not see that damn match again. That's what y'all.
Every time I think about it, it pisses me off. Honestly, this is why I've had so much frustration towards Cody the last 2 years. This is because of this.
Hey,
Oh, fucking Cody crybabies.
it bothered me, but I'm over now. They get what they deserve. The
You're
fans
not
get what
over.
the fans get what they deserve. I mean, it is what it is.
Where was The Rock at this WrestleMania?
Exactly.
He ruined WrestleMania by not showing up.
Oh, yeah.
He was there last year and you bitched about it.
Yeah, they could kiss my ass with that. and now you're hearing whispers like how it was a dead main event, like you said, where's The Rock at? And it was a dead main event, and now you're starting to see the honeymoon phase a little bit dwindling with Triple H. So hey, this is what y'all wanted. So take your medicine, right?
Yeah. Should let The Rock book it.
I know, right? But we digressed. The third match on this card, we got Pat McAfee versus Gunther, and Gunther better beat the dog shit out of him. I got Gunther, of course, but he better beat the dog shit out of Pat McAfee.
Gunther by beheading.
Yeah. Unless
He's gonna put McAfee in that chokehold and rip his head off.
what if there's some like type of interference though?
On whose behalf? By whom?
Somebody
Michael Cole? Michael Cole gonna come help?
Somebody try to save one of Gunther's past enemies that we're not even thinking about. I don't know. But we know McAfee usually goes away for college football. We got a wild for it. And if he just completely destroys them, then you got to have him not be on Raw. You just can't have him show up on Raw the next night or the next 2 days. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe
he'll have a neck brace on like Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Maybe. But yeah, we both got Gunther on this one.
What if he showed up, but he was real beat up? Like I said, a neck brace, black eye.
Yeah, you could do that. You could spin it like that. So it'd have to be like a beating, but they couldn't like go all out and have him stretch it out.
He tries to yeet and he fucking hurts himself because Gunther whooped his ass the night before.
Yeah, you could do that. But
turns out Gunther was just doing all shoulder moves to him, so he can't yeet anymore. That Gunther's that petty. Like, you want to chip a motherfucker to make me tap out? You can't yeet no more. Yeah. Rip his arm off.
It needs to be convincing though. So moving on. Your women's Intercontinental Championship on the line. Your champion, Lyra Valkyria versus
Bird Lady
versus Becky Lynch.
I got Becky.
You took the words out of my mouth. I'm going with the man. They still haven't outlined like this. They haven't like revamped the women's Triple Crown, but if they do it like the men's, I think they're trying to probably make Becky the first Triple Crown if they do revamp the credentials.
She's already a Grand Slam winner.
That's what I'm saying. But they revamped the men's Grand Slam. They have like the original rules and then they have like the new rules. The original rules.
Well, she's about to be a quintuplet winner.
Yeah, they're still quiet on if the Intercontinental Championship factors into something like that. But yeah, I think Becky. I mean, who's perfect to have your workhorse champion and like the best woman in the ring in the company, right?
I think Io's the best woman in the ring, and then Bianca. Becky's up there though. She is really good.
I still put Bianca probably on the same page. Maybe. I don't know. I would say maybe the slight edge of Becky, but yeah, I'll give you Io. I'll give you Io. Wait. Top 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Becky winning this, and they're starting to build Lyra up as just then like the smiley champion, happy to be there. She's have some fire in her promos, so I still need to see who she is. So let's see what she does without a championship, as far as character work. We got one more match left. A oldie but goodie. John Cena, your champion, versus Randy Orton for the undisputed WWE Championship.
This match is gonna be awful.
Oh yeah, it's not gonna be good at all.
John Cena wins with a nut shot.
He said with a nut shot.
Yeah, he's gonna kick Orton in the nuts and then give him the fucking FU. Did he change it back to the FU now that he's a heel?
He should. I don't think so though. I think it's the attitude adjustments though. Yeah, I got John Cena as well.
You know the origin of that name?
I remember the promo. This is like right before it was like a little bit before I started watching it. He was going against Brock Lesnar. He's like, "You got the F5, I got the FU."
Yeah, he's beefing. Him and Brock had a little brief feud when Cena was younger.
That was at Backlash. I want to say my friend had the black box where he get all the channels, and we watched that. We watched that pay-per-view for some reason.
I had one of those.
You got the F5.
I used to always go one channel further.
Yeah, I remember that promo vividly.
Channel 98 was wrestling and boxing and all that. Channel 99, I was looking at the screen like this.
He had those channels too, and it's weird. Just a group of guys in the room watching that. Like, what are we doing here?
I was never a fan of. I was never a fan of the group project. You know, this is something I need to do on my own, guys. I don't really feel comfortable sharing this with everybody.
It's the only way we can look at it until like LimeWire and the internet change the game. Start downloading those booty talks.
Booty talk, onion booty.
Onion booty. It take like 2-3 hours to download it, but
it was worth it.
Exactly.
Put it in a file that you didn't think anybody would look in.
Yeah, you have like you have like 8 different folders, and then put them all inside each other just to make sure.
Oh man, that's so funny that everybody did that.
Hey, those were the days.
Yeah, I got Cena. I think I already said that.
Got Cena. Like, I don't think it's gonna be too many surprises on this PLE.
I don't think it'll be that newsworthy.
I don't think so either. It's taking y'all's money because, like I said, my black ass ain't going unless like I'd have to see some ticket prices dip real low. But I don't.
That's still what, about a 2-hour drive for you?
Yeah, it's 2 hours. So I don't see myself going. Plop my ass on the couch and watch. And it's a UFC that night too. Because if I were to go to this pay-per-view, that means I'd have to watch it like at a bar. I have to watch the pay-per-view at the bar somewhere in St. Louis.
On your phone?
Or on my phone, but I would probably just go to a bar and watch it. But I just fuck it. I'm just staying home, just watching it all at once on the comfort of my couch. So
you're not going to the bar to watch UFC?
I hadn't been to a bar since I started doing the IPTV. Since like the end of 2019. Because you know you're gonna spend money on drinks and food.
Yeah. It's been probably 10 years since I went out in public. And I mean, I watched the Tyson Logan Paul fight at Circa because I just happened to be in Vegas that weekend. But everything else I watch at home. I agree. But I remember we used to have a couple bars around town that would show WWF pay-per-views. And then we started going like Hooters and shit, watching the UFC. Because back when like Rampage and Rashad Evans had beef, Brock Lesnar's first fight, like I watched all those out in public. But I'm just not into UFC as much as I used to be to go out. But it was always a good time watching them in public though. And shit was cheaper back then too. Like now you go out, it's like at least $50 before you start drinking just for food.
Yeah. Before IPTV. I used to go out for basically every single. That was like our ritual back in law school to go to this place called Miller's and watch the UFC once a month on Saturdays. But like you said, even 10, 12 years ago was a different time nowadays. But you know, it is what it is.
Well, EJ, if you ain't got anything else, we'll get up out of here and let these people get ready for WWE Backlash.
I ain't got nothing on my end. Thanks for everybody that's listening and viewing, and we'll be back next on the regular day, right?
Yep. We'll be back. Well, the podcast will come out on Wednesday, but we'll be back recording Tuesday and here with your power rankings, your street clothes rest of the week, and all the other news. Backlash Fallout, Monday Night Raw Fallout, AEW Collision. Hopefully the Knicks will be on to the Eastern Conference Finals by then.
Collision is on as we speak. It's Thursday night this week.
Oh, damn. It is. I listened to them say that shit over and over last night. For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been another Boot to the Face. Until next week. Peace!
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grab her the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock.